slashing earnings projections, though she did thank the Trump administration for walking back some of the levies on imported parts and raised hope of further changes to come. This warning from the CEO of the nation's largest automaker, General Motors, about the impact of the tariffs on the car industry. Mary Barrett told shareholders the tariffs on imported cars and auto parts will cost GM between $4 to $5 billion this year alone.
All right, John, well, thank you very much. And General Motors CEO Mary Barra joins us now. So as John just said, Mary, GM cut the forecast for earnings up to 30%. You gave a range, but earlier this week, you'd suspended all future guidance earlier in the week because of the sudden change.
Did you know your next car might cost 25% more thanks to Trump's new tariffs? And no, I'm not making this up. Ford literally stopped shipping Mustangs to China because the import fees skyrocketed to 150%. 150%. The trade war just went from Twitter threats to your wallet getting absolutely wrecked.
Now face tariffs as high as 150%. But Ford will continue to export engines and transmissions to China that are built in the U.S. China's reciprocal tariffs on U.S.-made vehicles is forcing Ford to stop shipments to the country. The automaker said it has halted shipments of F-150s, Mustangs, Broncos, and Lincoln Navigators that are made in the U.S. And in other tariff news, Volkswagen Group CEO Oliver Blume said that the company is currently in talks with the Trump administration and is now considering building Audis in the U.S.
American car companies are freaking out. Chinese officials are retaliating with their own crazy tariffs, and Buick, poor old Grandpa Buick, might be on life support since every single one of their popular models is built outside the U.S. So much for making America great again, huh? So let me get this straight. Trump slapped a 25% tariff on all foreign cars and parts, and now everyone's freaking out?
And now we've got this letter you've put out. I know you're going to be talking to investors just moments after you finish talking to us. But when you look at the situation here, the tariff exposure that you put out is $4 to $5 billion. So, Mary, I really appreciate your time. When you did that unprecedented step of suspending the earnings forecast because of Trump's tariff adjustment earlier in the week, you also suspended your stock buyback program to conserve cash.
Well, when we look at the overall $4 to $5 billion impact from tariffs that we shared, that is what we know now based on the clarity that we're given, and we are very appreciative that the president provided that clarity.
Gee, who could have seen that coming? Oh right, everyone with a functioning brain. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Let's break down what actually happened. In April 2025, Trump announced these massive tariffs from the Oval Office, claiming they would protect American jobs and make our auto industry great again. Classic Trump, solving complex problems with the economic equivalent of a sledgehammer. But here's the thing, modern cars aren't built in just one country anymore. That Ford in your driveway, its engine might be from Mexico, electronics from Japan, and sensors from China. It's like Trump tried to build a wall around our auto industry without realizing half the industry is already outside that wall. Brilliant strategy there, stable genius. The White House keeps rambling about how this will reduce our reliance on foreign manufacturing and fix our unfavorable trade terms. Their big plan isn't negotiation but realignment, whatever that means. Have they seen how cars are actually made? You can't just snap your fingers and create a domestic supply chain overnight. Building a car involves years of planning, massive investments, and suppliers scattered across the globe. And a 25% tariff means that $30,000 car you were looking at? That's now $37,500. Hope you weren't planning on eating this month, or paying rent, or having electricity. Small sacrifices for making America great again, right? And it's not just the sticker price. These tariffs mean fewer choices, longer wait times, and basically turning the clock back on the entire industry. Manufacturers are scrambling to reevaluate production schedules and export plans faster than Trump can tweet something offensive at 3 a.m. The real kicker, the stock market immediately tanked. Auto stocks dropped faster than Trump running away from a tax audit. Analysts are revising their forecasts downward, warning about ripple effects that'll soon hit part suppliers, logistics firms, and basically everyone connected to car manufacturing. Labor unions are freaking out too, because despite all the America First talk, these tariffs might actually lead to layoffs as production slows down. Some economists are calling this a high-stakes gamble that could either revive American manufacturing or completely destroy it if our trading partners decide to hit back. Spoiler alert, they will. Well, turns out China doesn't appreciate being pushed around. While Trump was busy with his America First victory lap, China prepared a revenge package that would make Tony Soprano say, "Whoa, take it easy." Remember when I mentioned trading partners hitting back? China didn't just hit back, they brought a nuclear weapon to a fistfight. Just 1 week after Trump's announcement, China unleashed tariff hell on American automakers. We're not talking about some little 25% bump. No. China went full scorched earth with duties reaching a mind-blowing 150% on American vehicles. That's not a tariff. That's China's way of saying, we don't want your cars ever again. Do the math on what this actually means. That shiny Ford Mustang that costs $40,000 in America, it now costs Chinese buyers more than $100,000. Even the most die-hard American car fans in Shanghai aren't about to pay Ferrari prices for a Ford. This is why Ford completely shut down all shipments of US-built vehicles to China, including the Mustang, F-150 Raptor, and several SUVs that were actually selling pretty well over there. Ford will still ship engines and parts to their Chinese assembly plants, but finished vehicles? Dead in the water. Buick got absolutely crushed in this mess. Their price tags jumped nearly 50% overnight, turning affordable family cars into luxury items nobody's buying. Sales teams report that models that were flying off the lots just weeks ago are now gathering dust. Analysts are scratching their heads wondering if Buick can survive unless they somehow move production to North America, which, spoiler alert, is insanely expensive and takes years to accomplish. The real tragedy isn't happening in corporate boardrooms. It's playing out in dealerships across America. These places have suddenly shifted from planning promotions to full-blown crisis management. Inventory isn't moving, sales targets are laughable fantasies, and next quarter's projections look like a horror movie script. Thousands of American jobs are hanging by a thread because 2 world leaders decided to have a tariff measuring contest. What's truly insane about this situation is how predictable it was. Everyone with a basic understanding of trade knew China would retaliate. They always do. Yet somehow the administration acted shocked when it happened, like a toddler who puts his hand on a hot stove after being told it's hot and then cries about it. So here we are, folks. The victims of this trade war mess will ultimately be you and me. Get ready for sticker shock at dealerships, shrinking options, and banks wanting an arm and leg for that auto loan. The ripple effects are spreading everywhere, from your personal budget to small businesses dependent on transportation. The hilarious plot twist? That rusty old Honda in your driveway might suddenly become a valuable asset. As new car prices skyrocket, used cars could become hot commodities. Who knew your embarrassing clunker would become your financial savior in the age of Trump tariffs? This is what happens when ego-driven politics crashes into economic reality. Nobody wins this game, except maybe your local bike shop.